Bowers a go for week number 3. BTJ a go for week number 3. Tootin is full steam ahead for week number 3. JD5 is out. We've got a whole bunch of other players to talk about. Kraft is iffy for week number 3. Lab McConkey's good to go. We're going to break down all of that and more here on the 8 p.m. Eastern show. We're here live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. We're live at midnight almost every single night. And we're live whenever big news breaks. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So Brock Bowers is a go. This is great news. A lot of people have been worried about this all week long. And, even up until right now, even though it's been very positive, it is finally official that he's off the week 3 injury report. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the week, doesn't mean he won't be on the week number 4 injury report initially, then taken off, then on the week 5 injury report, then taken off. Just because you're taken off doesn't mean everything is completely absolutely fantastic, but to be taken off means that there's no question about him playing. And, certainly one of the better buy low candidates right now in fantasy football. If you were able to potentially go get Brock Bowers using, let's say, a injured George Kittle and a player that could help that person right now. And they're like, well, I got so-and-so on the bench. I got, Kyle Pitts, even serviceable players. Like maybe they have Fannin, although 70-80% of everybody watching has Fannin on their team from this channel. But you know what I'm saying? They have somebody they can feel like I'll be fine and I'll go ahead and make this trade. Brock Bowers using players like Keenan Allen that you may not need, even though we love Keenan Allen. Maybe a Judkins that you can trade. There are trades that can be made to go get Bowers. Go do it now. People are kind of forgetting how good he is. People are worried about the LV offense, as they should be, and that's baked in here. If anybody's going, but Smitty, are we worried? Yes, we're worried about the LV offensive line. We're worried about the LV offense, but it's only 2 weeks in, and this is baked in. There's no way you're getting this deal, even with the new valuation of Keenan Allen. I know this looks like crazy right now. Waiver wire guy in a lot of leagues this past week. Waiver wire guy coming out of week 1. How are you complaining? Something like this is baked in. If you have a running back like ETN right now, and you've been living large, and you've been deciding between ETN and players, and you got Judkins on the rise, you got Tootin on the rise, and you can kind of afford making this kind of trade, it's not a bad maneuver. Bowers should be acquired on all avenues, on all fronts. League-winning move. League-winning move. All right, that piece of news out of the way. We're going to cover some stuff that we already covered on the previous show, but I'll go quickly just so everybody's caught up. Matt LaFleur said that Kraft won't practice Friday. This is a tough call. He's I would say, on the wrong side of questionable for week number 3, and even more concerned past that, just because of some of the comments made about Kraft. Like, he's not going on IR. Like, okay, well, not going on IR, or maybe avoided catastrophe, and things look promising. Like, what does all that mean? We'll have more on that. This guy getting another start, Mac Jones. Not a bad play in desperation, but not somebody that you're excited about starting. But for those of you that lost JD5, you don't want to start Marcus Mariota. I get it. You could go Mac Jones. It's not the end of the world. This man right here, ankle, shoulder, is questionable to play week 3. Even if he does play, he's clearly struggling to stay healthy. And this partly has to do with holding out, holding in, causes injury, causes the body to break down, which is why usually avoiding hold out players is smart. Yeah, we have 2 examples right there, Jennings and McLaurin, of rusty bad play. And then we have the anomaly James Cook, who's playing out of his mind, and he held in. So it's not always, easy to tell which player can persevere through that, but James Cook certainly is. Josh Jacobs' ankle not on the final injury report. I know some of you have been worried like crazy about this one all week. So right now, everything seems to be okay. We'll monitor the hell out of that situation. Make sure you stay on top of this show because we'll tell you exactly what you need to know, when you need to know it. Evan Ingram, what a bust this guy is becoming right now, at least initially. Do I still have hope for him? A little bit. Not much. Ruled out. Just looked like everything was going to be good for this week, and then he's ruled out with the back. Just absolute craziness to give this guy the massive contract extension and have this be the result so far. For those that don't know, JD5 out Sunday. Marcus Mariota will be starting. He is a decent at best replacement. Hopefully you planned more accordingly. Hopefully you aren't dropping your backup quarterback. I'm somebody that tells you to house 3 quarterbacks sometimes, and other people frown upon that. I don't, because of the injuries. Look at all the injuries. Look at JD5. Look at Joe Burrow. Look at Fields. We have been hit with injuries. JJ McCarthy. There's so many quarterbacks down. If you have quarterbacks, you could make trades. And if anybody literally went down to one QB and you're who do I pick up? Why would you have one quarterback? Why wouldn't you at least have Penix Jr. on your roster? I don't understand. We prepared for this. So out, week number 3. It sucks. It's not good. It's bad. It is what it is. Be prepared. Go trade for this guy's just still on screen from the last show. Go trade for BTJ on the now. Immediately. Lab McConkey not on the Los Angeles Chargers final week 3 injury report. This is fantastic news, and he's one of the better go buy low players walking into week number 3, as are a majority of these guys. And I think I'll put Lad on here.
Wanted.
Lad deserves to be on this list as well. There are definitely a few other players I'm going to throw on here.
The top most wanted outlaws.
These outlaws are what?
These outlaws are on the run.
Where do we put Laddie boy? Let's put Laddie over. He'll share this spot with Rice since Rice is still a ways to come back. We'll put him right here. They're what? What are they? What are they?
Wanted.
And why?
The top most wanted outlaws, cause they're wanted. Dead or alive.
All right. So let's swing on over. And we have Brian Thomas Jr. will be playing week 3. Already talked about that. Coach Smitty on Underdog. Do it live. Brian Thomas Jr. will play week number 3. No concerns about it either. So those are pretty much all the most recent pieces of news, I believe. We'll get to these $20 super chats here in just a moment. I appreciate everybody dropping these super chats. $20 haulers will get handled immediately in order in which they're received. So I see you, and I appreciate you, Gavin and Crod, and anybody else that's dropped one so far. I think we may have had 1 or 2 others. Thank you very much for dropping those. I think that's all the news. Let me just comb through real quickly and make sure I don't see anything else that I missed. Judkins, I think I may have put this one up or not. I don't know if I did earlier. It will get more than 10 rushing attempts that he received in week 2, according to The Athletic, Zach Jackson. Now, this is something that's obvious. He's going to get more than the 10 rushing attempts. But problem is, it's the Green Bay Packers. I'm not saying he's a bad play, but he's certainly not a good matchup play. Kyle Pitts' toe was removed from the week 3 injury report. He's actually been very targeted, very good this year. If for any reason he's on waivers and you're struggling at tight end, or you're trying to make a trade for a tight end, he's a pretty decent go-get player. As I mentioned here, wrist, good to go. BTJ, good to go for week 3. Buy him now before it's too late. We've got Kenneth Walker. We talked about this news earlier. Kubiak said the team has to keep finding ways to get both Zach Charbonnet and Walker involved. Now, Walker's going to get the lone start most likely today, because guess who is questionable for week number 3? That would be Zach Charbonnet, which I believe I have right here. Zach Charbonnet, doubtful, not questionable. Doubtful to play Sunday against the Saints. This is great for Kenneth Walker owners, but there is a be careful what you wish for. And it's the fact that if Kenneth Walker doesn't go out there and deliver, then right when Walker comes back, they're going to definitely give them 50-50 workload. So it is what it is. He's got to deliver. Hopefully he does deliver. I think that's all of the news and notes right there. Let's get into these super chats. Then we'll open up the phone line. Crod with a $20 hauler. Gavin with a $20 hauler. Murph with a $20 mother freaking hauler. Murph, appreciate you, my boy, Murphy. Let me cycle on over to the high roller room where these gentlemen will get immediate attention for their super chat droppage. So let me grab these right here and we'll spin on over there to the whoops. That's it's appropriate button though. It's fine to press that early. And then Lego Batman wants to be involved. He says, Smitty, put me in the high roller room. And that will definitely be doable. Hold on, Lego Batman. Let me grab your super chat as well. Thank you for the super chat, Lego. Lego getting dropped on screen as well. Okay, then I'll handle all these other super chats in order in which they're received. Thank you very much. Murph with the first one. Would you have to trade? Would have you trade? It's so hard to read some of these because they're I think they're written right, and I try and restate it, and it's still written, it's worded wrong. Tops call handy straight up for ETN. Right now, you have to. I will tell you this though. This is one of those the winds will shift situations. So this is problematic because it's kind of like me telling you that you're gonna go faster if you get into this car, but it might run out of gas, and the car that you're getting out of might have a full tank and will get faster as the season goes along and could pass you. So this is tough because if you don't take Hendy or if you don't take ETN, you might be 0-5 and maybe you don't make the playoffs. If you take ETN, you'll probably be 4-2, 5-1, maybe even 6-0, whatever. But what happens later? So you got to be mindful as you read the temperature of the ETN Tootin room, and you almost have to have Tootin. And can we hear Denny sing about Danny Dimes tonight? If Denny calls in, I will certainly ask him that. Gavin, appreciate you. Josh, Allen, Pickens, DJ. So my answer is that I think Hendy will be better later, but it might take a while. So ETN's the guide. Make sure you have Tootin. Be mindful of trading ETN if you can, when you can, at the right time. Josh, Allen, Pickens, DJ Moore, CMC, Walker, Fannin, Judkins, Aubrey, Seattle, Bench, Egbuka, Hendy, Booty. So I would say with this one here, should I try and get Franklin? Who should I try and get and how? This team, I would look to potentially move Judkins now before his bad matchup. Not saying I definitely love Judkins, but if he can get you right now, walking into the momentum of the week, even though the momentum might shut him down, and he might have a good game against the Green Bay Packers, you never know. But I'm trying to get an Evans or a BTJ now before it's too late. Throw in Chubb, throw in Franklin. I don't know. You didn't give me much else to work with. DJ Moore, I throw in DJ Moore potentially. Past that, I'm not trading Pickens, not trading Josh Allen. If I'm trading CMC, it's for two monsters like Genty and maybe even BTJ or better. I don't even think a Ladd and Genty would do because you can get the world for Christian McCaffrey right now. So other than that, one first suggestion, I would hold on to CMC unless you're getting those kinds of offers. Do not trade CMC unless you're getting a pot of gold, 2 pots of gold. And I certainly am actively trying to get rid of CMC as the season moves along. Garrett Wilson and Genty for MHJ, Jamison Williams, and Chase Brown. I would rather have, that's a really tough call. I think probably rather have the 3 players, I suppose. But I do love Genty, Garrett Wilson, but I'd rather have the 3 players. Bench, league 1 and 2. Yeah, it gives you more options, and then you can potentially flip. One of the receivers, especially MHJ, if you package MHJ with another player. So that's what I would do. Let's see here. Good evening. Just traded Booty and Franklin for AJB. Booty and Franklin for AJB. I love that trade. And then I flip it because I don't trust AJB at all. But I do like the trade, Lego Batman, because it's a fantastic maneuver to maybe get into something else. But I definitely flip it. Maximus with the blank $4 hauler, but then follows that up with a what is JD5's trade value right now? If you're going after like a QB and a receiver, like maybe you could get like a Dak from somebody that has multiple QBs that can wait, but like a Dak and a Lad, I know it's not what you want to hear, but that's probably what it is right now. Would I trade them at all? Probably not. If I could get, let's say, a 1-for-1, somebody can wait on him, and you got Penix or Bonix or something, would I trade JD5 for like BTJ, for Chase Brown, for Breece Hall? Probably. And those are players you're drafting over them anyway. So I definitely think I make those moves. Sup, Smitty, Pitts or Fannin? Fannin right now, but I do like Pitts a lot. Pick 2, Hendy, T. Higgins, or Ricky Pearsall. I'm going to say Ricky Pearsall and T. Higgins are safest in PPR. It is what it is for right now, but Hendy is going to get his time to shine. Sitting Hunter, start Downs, or Mooney. I'm starting Hunter. Sorry, pal. I'm not. You can't force me in that direction. Trade my ETN and Egbuka for Bucky, Rashad White, and T. Higgins. That depends on Buka playing. I'd probably rather have Bucky and T. Higgins, but it's a really close call. And this comes down to, do I believe ETN will be the starter all year long? I don't know. Trade my JD5 and Debo for Ladd and Tootin. No, bro, that's not enough. I mean, look, Debo's over Ladd and Tootin for JD5. What are you doing, Hunter? That'd be one of the worst trades you can make. Put that log out of your app, bro. Log out of your team and just leave it alone. What are you doing? Thoughts on Knicks, Kyron Williams, Hunter for Mahomes in London? Mahomes in London, and it's not really close, Prince. That's an easy call for me. Appreciate your super chat. Need a QB full PPRT, Law, Mariota, and Mac. What are you doing with your quarterbacks? Where was your backup? I believe I probably go, man, Mac Jones this week. I mean, I don't know, bro. It's so tough. I guess Mac Jones or chat, vote on this one. T-Law, Mariota, A-Rod, or Mac Jones? Saw your Rice video. Do I trade Adams for Rice? No, because Adams is balling out right now. No, Rice is a buy low. That's not buying low, bro. You know, Adams is arguably top 5 to 7 wide receiver. Need QB full PPR. Vote on that one, please, guys. For Danny. All right, let me get on over to the order in which these are received again. I'm sorry about that. Okay, $10 hauler. JD5 is out. Dak or... Thanks for the update, Kendall. Dak or Caleb? Dak's easy call. Caleb could produce. Could produce, my boy. But, you know, it's going to be a shootout most likely, but I'm going to take Dak. Rome against Herbert. What is this? Your teams? I don't know, bro. Who you're facing is not determining who I'm starting, honestly. I'm starting the best players. Start Atlanta defense over 49ers and Tampa. I think Atlanta's a pretty good play. And if I'm, let me see your team, Bijan, Bucky, Puka, JSN, you got a squad. Rome's going to probably have a really good day too. Dak is the play. And hedge it anyway between Caleb and Rome. I think that's a smart way to attack that anyway. Appreciate you. Nice team. Freaking 7.9 or 8.0 out of 10. Great squad. I have a feeling you're going to win that game. Traded Kyron and Tootin away for RJ Harvey and AJ Brown. Hold or send AJ Brown and Scat for Evans and Pacheco. I flip it for Evans and Pacheco. Smitty, approve everything you got going on there, my boy. Congratulations on the smart maneuvering there. SB, or is this S? Yeah, SB. Appreciate you. Should I drop Penix for Purdy as a backup QB? Who to keep? Should I drop Penix for Purdy as a backup QB? No. Purdy's injured. I don't know how he's going to fare when he comes back. I like Penix Jr. People are freaking out about Penix Jr. He had a tough defensive matchup last week. Keep the faith. Who to keep or drop? Fannin or Jay Smith? I'm keeping Jonu. Or I'm sorry, I'm dropping Jonu. I'm keeping Fannin, bro. Fannin's got too much appeal to be like a top 7 tight end. He already is in my mind. Yo, boss, 10 full PPR. Should I trade Nico, Chase Brown, and Tyler Warren for his Gibbs and BTJ? Woo! I would say no. It's close. Gibbs makes it real close, but I'm saying no, bro. You got too much firepower on that one side, and all 3 players are fantastic, so absolutely not. Even though Gibbs is an upgrade over Chase Brown, no thank you. Dynasty PPR, trade my Bijan Tet 27 second for his BTJ Dobbins and 3 first rounders. Bijan Tet, I'm not trading Bijan. Man, 3 first rounders are tough. But you also got to tell me, are they early or are they late? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't, you could just tell me first rounders and I'm going to immediately assume mid, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. 3 first rounders is a lot, but I'm not in the business of playing for second place. Eric, appreciate you. Hey, GOAT, currently 0-2. Any moves should I make? Here are my starters: Dak, Genty, Chase Brown, CD, Ladd, Laporta, Monty. Like this team a lot. JCM for flex. BTJ owner is in my league and not budging for a trade. I mean, I do love the Mike Evans buy low, but your team's so good, bro. I'm fine keeping CD and Ladd. Maybe I'm trying to move like JCM and Monty and Ladd for like one better player, like Nico or someone around that territory. Or maybe you're moving, let's say, JCM or Monty for a Dak Prescott upgrade into Mahomes or higher. Past that, I think I'm feeling pretty good about your running back stable, your wide receiver stable. I think that JCM will be fine in the flex, but Evans would be a target for me. Like you have Ladd. Ladd's pretty good. I don't mind upgrading Ladd into Nico or something, but I do like your squad. I'm kind of standing down for the moment. Laporta worries me here and there. I like Tyler Warren more. If you can trade like Monty and Laporta for Tyler Warren and something, maybe look in that direction. But I like the team overall. I'm fine waiting on that for a week. Let's see here. We have let me see if I have Eric, and then I think I'm caught up to the right super chat. Okay, 10 team full PPR, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, tight end flex, Kyler, Hill, Barkley, James Cook, AJB, Kenneth Walker. Any moves? Love the team minus AJB. If it's me, I'm still exploring Kenneth Walker Sharps, but you might want to wait after this week because Kenneth Walker all by himself with Sharps doubtful probably gives you a real good product to potentially trade next week. AJ Brown should bounce back a little bit, so you might have more firepower. But if you could trade both of them for a top 8 player or something, I certainly would do that. And if I can, I trade AJB for Evans or BTJ. And if I can't, I trade potentially Sharps and Kenneth Walker with, let's say, Golden should do something this week too. Tyreek Hill and Kenneth Walker and Sharps for Genty or higher. For Nico, because you have 2 running backs. I wouldn't mind you getting a player like Nico, but you're pretty well balanced too. With Amon-Ra St. Brown. Damn, man, your team's really good. I'd say Tyreek Hill and Kenneth Walker for 1 monster, or AJB and Kenneth Walker for 1 monster, or just trade Tyreek Hill or AJB straight for Mike Evans or BTJ. That's my advice. Gee, appreciate your super chat. Great team, bro. Great team. George, appreciate your super chat. George says Garrett Wilson, Tyler Warren, and Sharps for Neighbors. That's a lot of players, but yes, I'd probably take Neighbors. Owner accepted immediately. I think I overpaid. I think you overpaid a little bit, but it was probably worth it if you're in a surplus of talent. Like if you're not bone dry now, then you're fine. Was offered Harvey, Dobbins, and BTJ for my Garrett Wilson, Hunter, and Kamara. I think this will serve you well later, but it's a little bit of a concern maybe for the first week or two, but then it starts to really iron out for you. But I'm fine with this trade, TJ. It's probably going to be considered an overpay by the average bear because they don't see what I still see in that running attack in Denver. Smitty, it's Scuba Steve. What's up, Steve? I'm at dinner trying to get CD Lamb in my 12-man league PPR, giving up Garrett Wilson, Bucky, and Fields for Caleb and CD Lamb. Don't do that trade. Why in the hell would you give up Bucky and Garrett Wilson first? I don't want Caleb anyway. And number 1, CD Lamb and Bucky are near close, and you're giving up Garrett Wilson. Don't do that, Steven. Immediately abort. Abort the dinner, Steven. Abort the dinner.
Alert. Stand down order in effect.
Abort the dinner, Steven. Smitty approved me. 12-man, PPR. Trade my Fannin and Dobbs for Ladd. I'm fine with that. I like Ladd a lot. Ladd's a great buy low. Picked up likely off waivers. Think you did great. London. Yes. Great job, my boy. Fantastic job. I think we had a $20 super chat in here somewhere. Trey, appreciate your... Oh, I don't know what this is, this conversion. It showed up as a 20, but I don't know what it is. Somebody find out what this conversion is. Dynasty team is Knicks, Fields, Brees, Genty, Monty, Debo, AJB, QJ, Tillman, Laporta. Should I trade Knicks and Debo and a first for Nico Stroud? Yes, I would do that because I believe in Nico. I would try and flip Stroud, but I don't know. I wish I could leave the two QBs out. If you're doing that to stack it, don't stack. Who cares about stacking? Keep Knicks, but I don't know. That's a tough one. Bro. Okay. Thank you for the super chat, my boy. Appreciate you. Let me swing back over here. All right. Start Hunter or Troy Franklin in the flex this week. I'm starting Hunter, but I could understand either one. I really could. RJ Harvey, Franklin, or A.O. Manor off the waivers. I'm going to go... A.O. Manor is probably the safest right now. Or off waivers, you've got to pick up Harvey. If you're asking me to pick up Harvey, or if you're just saying Harvey, Franklin, or start A.O. Manor off waivers, but I'm keeping Harvey. You know what I mean? Like, if you're leaving Harvey on waivers, if you're actually considering leaving Harvey on waivers... Take a big lap. Like, this is not even an option, just so you know. Am I starting Hampton or Chubb this week? I'm starting Hampton personally. I mean, you got to remember, they let Chubb score that touchdown. You know? Jonathan, appreciate you. Sup, Smitty. 10-man PPR squad is Hurts, Walker, Bucky, Neighbors, Adams, Kraft, Buka. Like the team flexes Buka injury. Metcalf for JCM. I'd rather go JCM this week, but there's risk involved. His coach even said today, his offensive court, like man, I can't believe the way they talk about this kid sometimes. They love him, and then all of a sudden they say something that makes me like just go, what? Today there was that report that was the wording was every time he touches the ball, good things happen. But he's still got to get better at when he's out there without the ball in his hands. And it's like, what does that mean? What are you going to do to him on Sunday? What are you going to do to his workload? Tell us now. So, there's some concern. I mean, Metcalf's probably safer in PPR, but JCM's got high upside. Send an offer, my Dobbins for his Judkins, of course. Take Judkins and run. That would be an easy decision, my boy. Absolutely easy. Saquon Barkley for BTJ and James Cook. You take BTJ and James Cook right now. Yeah, that's a lot of value. But I understand why you wouldn't take it. I get it. Start Hendy or Stevenson. I'm going to start probably Hendy this week. I still believe they drafted him for a reason, but Stevenson might be safer. Got offered Hampton and Rice for Judkins Franklin. I take Hampton and Rice and run. Got offered Puka, Monty, Harvey for my Bucky, JSN, and Judkins. I would rather have JSN, Bucky, and Judkins by a country mile. Right now, at least. I mean, the wins could shift there. PPR Dynasty, send Hall plus Davis for Ollie Tootin, 27 first rounder. I'd rather have Hall right now, but I certainly would love to get my hands on Bashal Tootin for a stash piece for the team, bro. Start Bryce. He had 5 TDs last matchup against the Falcons. It depends on your option, bro. You're not giving me any options. Start Bryce! Okay! Don't yell at me! I don't know who you have. Just got offered Genty for my Mason. Half PPR. What do you think I'm going to tell you to do, Ryan? Bench Hampton for Stevenson. It might be safer, but I don't think I do it, to be honest. Why Gibbs and Tootin for Bijan? I take Bijan. I mean, look, Tootin's great, but Tootin doesn't move the... You know, my Gibbs and Tootin for Bijan. I'd rather Bijan. This is a $20 hauler from Finish. Appreciate you for the $20 hauler, my boy.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Let's see here. Sharps is out. We know, Taylor. We talked about it twice now already and on the previous show. But thank you for trying to break the news. Dynasty 12-man, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, tight end, 2 flex. I'm 2-0. Need trade ideas? Well, it's a good squad. Achane Kyron, Dak, Kyler. You're probably starting Dak right now. Javonte, 3 really good running backs. London, he's going to be just fine. Myers is playing good. Pickens is playing good. I don't know. JMO, this is a good squad. Need ideas on trades? Well, I'm just going to tell you maybe trade Kyron and potentially Pickens or JMO for just a slight Chase Brown or Genty upgrade, in my opinion. I would do that. I would also do the same thing with Myers and Kyron, and then you're playing JMO in that spot, but Myers has good trade value. Myers and Kyron for Chase Brown or Genty. I think I'm going after that slight running back upgrade using the combination of those wide receivers. That's the move to make if it's me. Isaiah, appreciate you with the super chat. 1 flex, Pearsall, Chubb, JMO, Wandell, Ridley, Pacheco, JMO. Pretty easy for me. Thank you for the super chat. Here we go. $5 holler from Taylor. What up, Smitty? Love the show. Show loves you back. 0-2. I got a dilemma of who to roster. I got 1 for a defense. I got to drop 1 for a defense. Penix, Pitts, or Scat. I may at QB. Yeah, but you need a backup. You need a backup. Look at everybody scrambling for backups. Don't drop your backup quarterback. What are we doing? You know, this is your only quarterback. You cannot drop him. You cannot. Now, I don't want you to drop Scatter Pitts, but chat, who are you cutting in this situation? I feel like you got to have something else, man. You're not sharing with us, but Pitts and Scat, probably Pitts right now. Because, your tight end spot, it can score such a low amount of points anyway that, I'm assuming he's your backup. I'm assuming you wouldn't start your starting tight end or drop your starting tight end. I think you could fill that hole a little bit easier off the waiver wire. So that's what I'm going to say. Need some help, Smitty, to get Hawkinson. Should I drop a player and pick up Tua so I can rename my team Hawk Tua? No, it's not worth it, bro. Oh, Deckard. 10-man full PPR, Bo, Dak, CMC, Walker, Connor. Neighbors, London, Tillman. Rate your team. Team's good. I mean, 10-man league. Javonte, I love Bill. I love Javonte. I'm still trying to move Connor or Walker or Javonte with Tet to upgrade Walker. Or let's say you were to trade Walker. You got London, Neighbors. Let's say you traded Walker and Tet for Nico and something. Or even better, Lamb straight up, 1 for 2. 2 for 1. Or JJ. And then you move potentially... Yeah. You could then move... Well, let's see here. Yeah, because then you just throw Javonte in your number 2 spot. I'm fine with that, getting like a lamb chops. If you're not interested in that, then Tet and Walker for Chase Brown. Tet and Walker for Genty and something. Tet and Walker for... Try for Gibbs. You're not going to get it. Any of those players. Henry on the cheap, coming off a 20-yard game. Go get Henry for Walker and Tet McMillan. That might work. You got Fannin, make it a Kittle and Walker. Make it a Kittle, Walker, and Tet for Henry and something. Smitty traded Chase for Amon-Ra and Harvey. I don't hate that, but I feel like you could get more. Traded Kyron and Benson for Rashee Rice, Evans, and Kincaid and Rashad White. Traded Kyron and Benson. I like that trade because I like Evans a lot. But I don't know. Kyron's still hard to trade. I feel like he's still so low. Team's pretty good. Other moves to make. Sutton. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that trade was that it was great for your team though. Your build. You have Sutton, Sharps, Hunter, Egbuka, Chase Brown. So you only have Chase Brown now. You got rid of Kyron and you got Evans, but you didn't get a receiver running back. I don't know if I would have made that trade without getting a running back. You literally have, but you have Rice. That's yeah, it's a good trade. You need to make another trade though. Yeah. Okay, so you got Rice and Evans for Kyron. Now flip. Try and flip Egbuka or Evans or Rice. You know, you just got him. For Genty, for Hendy and a lad. Something along those lines. It's a confusing one because the trade you made was good, and I would have done it too. And you know, looking at it, I would have done it too. I would not have turned down Evans and Rice for Kyron. But you do have your work cut out for you to get a running back. But you can do it. You got a lot of pieces, and it doesn't have to happen this week. 0.5 PPR. Love Bucky. Kyron, Harvey, Lamb, McLaurin. Just traded Dobbs for Egbuka. Come on. You did not. DJ Moore, Ridley, Hunter, Golden. Just traded Dobbs for Egbuka. You didn't trade Dobbs for Egbuka, let alone Dobbs for Egbuka, DJ Moore, Ridley, and Hunter, and Golden. You just didn't. You didn't do it. You're mixing this up. You're mixing Dobbs up. You wrote Dobbs, but you meant to write somebody else. You didn't even spell Dobbs right. I don't even know who you're talking about. You didn't do that, though. You didn't. No one's going to give you Egbuka for Dobbs, let alone give you DJ Moore, Ridley, Travis Hunter, and Golden. Did he mean Dobbins? If you meant Dobbins, why didn't you write Dobbins? And that's even worse. You didn't get Egbuka, DJ Moore, Ridley, Hunter, Golden for Dobbins. Stop, bro. Just stop. How can you upgrade? I don't know. Go back to that guy. That's how you upgrade. Go back to that guy's giving you everything in the world. I don't even know who you cut, though. I don't know how to upgrade this, bro. I'd say, I don't know. I'd have to know. I suppose McLaurin. I mean, first of all, McLaurin and Hunter, McLaurin and DJ Moore, McLaurin and Egbuka. Go try and get Nico. Go try and get Chase Brown. Go try and get Genty. Ryan. Trade Jettas for Nico Etienne. You got to do that. You got to do that. I mean, bro, Nico could be just as good, and you're getting freaking Etienne on top of that. Bro, Dobbins for Egbuka straight up. Didn't happen. Brian, your message is all over the place because you say Dobbs. Okay, then you say it for Dobbs, DJ Moore, and all these players, and now you're saying it's Dobbins for Egbuka straight up. But that's not what you wrote. But congratulations on robbing that man, getting Egbuka for your J.K. Dobbins. Congratulations, you absolutely lambasted him. He'll never talk to you again. Should I trade CD for BTJ? 26 late first, 27 second. I'd rather... Should I trade CD for BTJ? Late. It's so tough. No, I'm going to keep CD. Dynasty, Superflex. Keep CD, my boy. Keep CD. San, appreciate you. My Henry and $10 fab for Chase and Swift. I have K9 Sharps. If this is redraft, which I assume it is because you didn't say Dynasty, I'd rather have Derrick Henry than Jamar Chase. Right now, anyway. Just without Burrow, it's a little, loses a little bit of his allure. Start Ertz with Mariota or Javonte. Javonte Sanders with Young. You guys have got to start writing clearer here. Look at it before you send it. What the hell is this saying? Start Ertz with Mariota or Javonte Sanders. Javonte Sanders with Young. Do you mean Sanders, the tight end? I think you mean start Ertz or the tight end Sanders. I'm going to say start probably Sanders by a hair. Got Kraft and Ingram on the bench holding pattern. Opinions on Ingram. Ingram, we don't know. We just don't know, Christo. Hopefully Ingram comes back to life, but right now he's a disaster. He's a disaster. I wish I had an answer for you on Javonte, but I don't. Yeah, Swift is on the injury report, as we mentioned earlier on the show. He's definitely somebody to monitor, and Monungai needs to be grabbed if you're in need of a running back at all. Trade away McBride for Hampton after week 1. Should I be concerned? Yeah, you should be concerned. I mean, Donovan, it is what it is right now. But is there a world where Hampton comes back to life? Yes. Yes, there is a world where, first of all, McBride always had more value than Hampton, though. So this was an L trade on a little bit of the slight, rating at the time. Hampton still had great value, but McBride always had a little bit more value than Hampton. Hampton started to climb higher and higher. I don't blame you for making this trade pre-week 1, but after week 1, the value was definitely lower. So you definitely overpaid. But keep in mind, Chase Brown, nothing until week 4. Keep in mind, Bucky didn't even get really good amount of carries until week 10. So you have to keep the faith. Hampton will come around. But the question will be, how's your team look by the time he comes around? Hopefully he comes around in week 5, week 4, week 6, not week 10. 12-man QB Baker. You guys are sleeping on my boy Tesla. Bro, you don't even know what you're talking about, Entity. Nobody in here said anything negative about Tesla. Tesla's constantly been on the ad board, the waiver wire board. So you coming in with this weird, blind, uncomfortable statement, Entity, like, you guys are sleeping on my boy Tesla. Where you even have that information? Where are you even deriving that conclusion from? We're just all wondering what in the hell you're talking about. As if anybody said anything negative about Tesla. We talk about him all the time. He's been on every iteration of the waiver board. The 3-4 preemptive week 1 waiver boards in July, in June, and I think we did the first one in April. And you come in here and just start spouting off without knowing anything about anything you're talking about. You guys are sleeping on my... Is that your way of trying to slip in and sign in on the attendance sheet in class before the bell rings? Like last second you slip up and you just try and plant your flag real quick. Is that what you're trying to do? Kind of interesting how some people make their flag planting debut. You guys are sleeping on my boy Tesla. You hear? 12-man QB Baker, Bucky, Kyron, Sharps, Harvey, Godwin, Cup, St. Brown. Your wide receivers were awful until I get down where you list your... Why you read it like this, Flo? You know what? I'm going to read your message after I read the next one. To punish you for listing your best players last. It makes your team look worse. The human brain reads this and looks at this team as a much lesser team. You can't even compute how good it is because you literally are listing your players out of order. And anybody reading it's not going to give you a proper eval. So, J-Flow, I'm going to come back to you. Next time, give your players some proper respect. Actually, I'm leaving because of the $20 holler.
Alert. Super.
Ron, appreciate your $20 holler. Gets immediate attention. 8-man PPR. Lamar, Bijan. Still saying Bijan. I can't shake that. I couldn't say it right for the longest time. Now I can't undo it. Lamar, Bijan, Jacobs, Sharbs, JCM, Harvey, Hendy, BTJ, Nico, Egbuka, Pickens. Team's great. Got offered Genty and Addison for Jacobs and Hill. I would probably take that. I would try and get more, though. Yes, Scary Terry. Exactly. There you go. That's what you do. If you got to give up a little something on top of it, like a little bit, I'm fine with it. But yes, try and play a little hardball. If he came to you, he's trying to get rid of Genty. So I agree with you. As for your team over here, any moves other than to reorder and respect the players in order in which they're ranked, I would say your team looks great. I'm keeping the Tootin, Hendy, and Harvey situation. Go to the Walker owner, see if you can upgrade Sharbs or trade Sharbs and Myers. I'm keeping St. Brown and Adams. I mean, I'd trade Adams for like Nico or an upgrade to Lamb or something, obviously. But if the Walker owner wants Sharbs and let's say Myers for a slight wide receiver upgrade, maybe they got BTJ or Evans. If you could maybe go to the ETN owner and use Tootin now on credit and say, hey, what do you give me for Myers? I think those are the small tweak moves that can make that team even a little bit better. But start respecting those boys, my boy. Devontae Smith plus what gets me Tyreek, Hurts down, throw the ball, would Smith and Judkins do? I wouldn't want Tyreek for Smith and Judkins, bro. I want Judkins over Tyreek. So I'm just gonna squash your entire super chat right there. I don't want Tyreek. If you want Tyreek, give up Devontae Smith and something else. But I'm not giving up Judkins, bro. I'd rather have Judkins than Tyreek Hill. Start 2 full PPR. Hendy, Tootin, Harvey, Downs. And could I be wrong on Tyreek? He had 100 yards in week 1. He had a touchdown and 40 yards last week. All I know is I'm that guy, the meme, running. The referee running in the WWE meme. Just running as fast as I can down the platform. I got it on my Instagram. You can go check it out. Actually, I can show you real quickly. Of this. This is me. And if I was to even own any Tyreek Hill shares, that's me. That's me running as fast as I can. Running as fast as I can to go trade Tyreek Hill. Off of last night's game. Could I be wrong? I could, I suppose. Start 2 full PPR. Hendy, Tootin, Harvey, Downs. I'm going to go Tootin and Hendy. But, bro, you're rolling the dice no matter what you're doing there. No matter. It sucks to say. It is what it is, but it will turn around for some of these guys, if not all of them, at some point. Just traded Waddle and Dobbins for Rice. And ETN. I thought you just did it for Rice. I was gonna give you a standing ovation. The fact that you got Rice and ETN doesn't even make me proud of you anymore because you just steamrolled them. You just clobbered them over the head, bro. This is Aunt Edna. You just took this from Aunt Edna's team, didn't you? She didn't know what she was doing. You told her it was a good move. She goes, I trust you, Sonny boy. And you went on her phone and hit accept for her because she can't even see this. She didn't even have her glasses. And you just, that's crazy, bro. Waddle and Dobbins for Rice and ETN. Stop, bro. Stop. I was proud of you when it was just Rice. But now that it's ETN, I can't even be proud of you. This is a ridiculous. This is like when, I don't know, you're born into money and you got a new car. Like, you didn't earn it, but nice car. Nice car. I have Mahomes, Saquon, Chase Brown, BTJ. Embarrassment of riches. Do it live. Hubbard and Terry, Hubbard and DJ Moore, Hubbard and Debo for like one bigger monster. I'm still looking to take a little from Aunt Edna. Or go to Uncle Buck. That league is toast anyway. Trade Adunze and Tyler Warren for JSN and Nico. Yeah, I would take Nico and JSN. This is from a big Tyler Warren, and I like Adunze a lot, especially this week. But taking that of 10-team PPR, made a couple of trades for Hampton, Rice, and Hill, but look okay. Hurts, CMC, K9, Javante, Hampton, Harvey, Puka, Ladd. Yeah, it looks really good. I like the squad a lot. There's not even a lot to really do unless you were to try and maybe trade like K9 or Javante with, let's say, everyone always puts Ladd twice. Ladd twice and Worthy twice. One of your lads. Trade one of your laddie boys with K9 or Javante to go massive upgrade shopping. But that's pretty much it. I mean, that team looks really, really solid. $20 hauler from the Don. Don, thank you, pal. I'm back, Smitty. Time to divide and conquer. Best stash. Wide receiver, Amon-Ra, Nico, Higgins, Cup, Tesla, Monty, Swift, Scat, Najee. Oh, the running backs are brutal. Kittle, Fannin, Browning, so trash. One of the best combos to target for a running back. You got to go Hampton, Hendy, and Harvey shopping. And that's just all there is to it. And you got to try your best. If you're going to try and do it for Higgins. You know, try and do it for Higgins. Try and do it for Swift and Monty. If you can get rid of Higgins and get rid of Monty and Swift and get like Hendy and Hampton in 2 different deals or Harvey, then at least you have a fighting shot because you still kept Nico and Amon-Ra. If you're going to trade, let's say Amon-Ra right now, you go get a BTJ and a Breece Hall, a Chuba and a BTJ. You know what I'm saying? So go to the BTJ owner. Go to the Ladd owner and see if they have Chase Brown. You have to get, if you're trading Amon-Ra, do not trade him for one player and a mediocre player. You have to get 2 potential monsters. Don, if you can't say yes, either one of these guys could hang with Amon-Ra, then you're not trading for the right 2 players. So go start there. But man, those running backs, wow. I don't know what happened, bro. You must have lost Burrow for one. Pick 2, Hampton versus Denver, Genty versus Washington, Kyron versus Philly. You going Genty. I'm not sitting Genty, but you're making a trade. $10 super chat, Dynasty 12-man, Mahomey, Breece Hall, Achan, BTJ, London, Garrett Wilson, Worthy. Like the team. Pearsall or Worthy. Honestly, with Warren, I'm trading Kittle. I know he's hurt, but you still could trade him. People will overlook the injury if you do a 2-for-1. So if you're trading, let's say, Breece Hall and Kittle for a Genty or higher, or you're trading Kittle and maybe Worthy or Pearsall, or Kittle, Worthy, and Pearsall for all of one player, Nico, BTJ, a Genty type player. So Ethan, those moves are the ones that I would deploy in that situation. Thank you very much. I love Nico. I love Genty. I love Chase Brown as buy lows for that package. Dak, Penix, Chase Brown, ETN, CD, Buka, Devontae, Adams, Debo, Rice, Hunter, Hendy, Harvey, Fannin. Any moves? Where's Tootin? Where's Tootin? If not, I'm maybe using ETN in a trade. But I love that you have Hendy and Harvey and Hunter just sitting there and you might not even need them, which is really awesome firepower. So Chase Brown, ETN, CD, Buka. You might be, Devontae, you might be best to just stand down. Unless you can't use all those wide receivers, then you're trading Debo or Devontae because you're going to have Rice coming back to upgrade ETN. And you go Genty or higher shopping. That's a good team, though. If you could start all 4 of those wide receivers, sit on them until Rice comes back, then ship one of them off. Because your team you've got the running backs that are going to rise up at some point. That's a really crafty team. I'm 0-2. Would you trade Jamar and Fannin for JT and Adams? Abso-mother-freaking-lutely. JT and Flowers? No, JT and Adams is the ticket. Would I do it for JT and Flowers? A little less so. But maybe. It's a little closer. It lost its allure once you told me that. I maybe would have said yes if you didn't tell me the Adams one first, but go get that Adams. Which side? Trade BTJ Breece or Evans Kamara? BTJ Brees by quite a bit because I don't trust Kamara will be there at the end of the day for you. I just feel a lot of Joe Mixon value drop. Scatterboo or Hampton this week. Probably Scat by a hair. By a hair. By a hair, my boy. J Flow says QB's Baker. Wide receivers BTJ Jefferson. Again, out of order. What's JJ doing second? What are you doing to your team? J Flow. Sutton, A.O. Manor, Brown, Hubbard, Kyron, Pacheco, Sharp, Sampson, Fannin, Andrews. What moves to make 1-on-1? Sutton. I'm trading Sutton and Hubbard for one. Sutton and Hubbard or Sutton and Kyron for a running back upgrade. And you already have Chase Brown, so you're kind of limited. You're going upward. It's not the easiest thing to do. I think Genty's better than Kyron. I think Genty's better than Hubbard. Now, I could be wrong on that. And I think we all need to acknowledge that if you're going to take this risk, there's a possibility. There's also a possibility you're getting a monster. Now, would I take another running back like Henry? I think you could do that for Henry. I've seen people get rid of Henry right now. They're scared of that 20-yard game. You know, remember that people that are fickle on Genty, who had a touchdown in week 1 and then had a bad week 2. Henry had a great game in week 1, had a bad game, horrible game in week 2. People are just as reactive, a little less so on Henry because he's proven, but people are getting scared. Got offered Judkins and Rashee Rice for Debo. I'd take Rashee Rice and Judkins and run. Absolutely run. That's a phenomenal return. Pick 2. Harvey Benson. Go JCM and Golden this week. I think Golden does have a nice little day. I'm waiting on Harvey. I'm so hopeful that I come in on Sunday and I wish I told you Harvey. I want nothing more than you to be like, Smitty, I wish you would have told me Harvey, you son of a bee. I want nothing more than that. That would make my Sunday. But I'm going to say Golden for now is safe. You want to go high risk, high reward, go Harvey. But I want nothing more than to be wrong on that. It would be one of my favorite Sundays. Just the revitalization and rebound of Harvey that quickly would be amazing. But I think Golden's a tad bit safer. And even though Golden is getting opportunities, he'll eventually get a big long touchdown. But then I try and sell him. Immediately. Matt says CMC Egbuka for Henry BTJ. So this is what I don't. Yeah, you got to sell CMC for a little more than this, bro. You should be selling CMC for Henry and BTJ. You know, like if you give up somebody like I don't know, some sort of like lower end receiver, you know, that you picked up or. But no, not Egbuka. It's not what you need to do. You need to trade CMC for 2 players. No one's listening to me on this. Don't trade CMC. Wait, keep riding it out until you get the right offer. Next week, you might get the better offer. Every week you play, you're risking, him getting hurt. But you gotta trade him for 2. You gotta trade him for London and Genty. Henry and BTJ. Henry and at least Ladd. Henry and Hendy or something. If you're going to... I don't mind Henry for CMC in a sense. But the fair market commands you get something extra. 5 gifted memberships from Wheel Snipe Selly.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Selly to the moon. 700 of you on YouTube. Please hit that thumb up button, please. Appreciate you all. This one from Dan. Dan the man. Dan says, Smitty got a trade offer. My Bucky for Mason. And Hubbard.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
What did Bucky do to you, bro?
Get buckied. Buckied. Buckied.
No, Dan. No, Dan. Dan, that's not the plan. Just traded Jalen Warren, Tony Pollard, and Dylan Sampson for Genty and Hendy. I mean, I love Jalen Warren, but yeah, that's a smash. I mean, what are you going to say?
You've just been Smitty.
Nice job. Nice job, broski. Clockwork dropping the super. Clockwork, appreciate you. Pick 2, Worthy, Hampton, Pickens, Tootin, and Travis Hunter. Definitely Pickens, and then I think like if Word is good on Worthy, I'd probably say Worthy. But I would say Travis Hunter after that if you're at all worried about Worthy. Offered Scary Terry for Debo. I'd probably rather have Debo, but I think Scary Terry starts to look better and better. Remember, he had a lot of rust, coming into week 1 because of the holdout. Know what I'm saying? This super chat from... Oh, this is Ray. Ray says... Ray gifted 1 membership. Ray, thank you.
You've just been...
Tim, you received it, Tim. Give Ray a little handshake or a flex emoji or something if you don't mind. Appreciate that. Tim got a membership from Ray. Chat, vote on this one. Scary Terry or Debo moving forward. I do think it's not crazy to want to swap the two at this point, but I think I still feel like Debo, Debo's in a zone right now. But hopefully JD5 being ruled out this week, hopefully it doesn't change the game. And just... I still believe in the Commanders, and I still believe in JD5. And I think that it's not the end of the world if they lose 2 in a row and then come back on a terror. Tootin or Henderson. Tootin might be safer as of this moment with the news we have now, but the winds could shift. The winds could shift. He said Mason and Hubbard for Bucky, right? Yes, he did, D-Town. How do I score one of these gifted memberships? You just need to make sure you have accept gifted memberships turned on in your YouTube profile. So you got to check that out. How you do that, Google it. My boy. AJB's hard to trust right now. But he has a lot of trade value. What kind of player do you think Sutton and Judkins can get you? Evans, BTJ, seems like Adams. People are trying to trade Adams away. Injured Buka, Debo or Buka this week. If Buka plays, Buka. Come on, my man. It's pretty easy. What's he done for you? Everything. Do not trade Judkins for Evans. No, do trade Judkins for Evans. They're very even. If you need a wide receiver, it's great. If you need a running back, Judkins is fine for Evans. They're both. Don't listen to him. They're both very equal. Evans is going to ball out. How do you feel about Quentin Johnston? Johnston, you mean? Quentin Johnston? You spelled the whole thing wrong, Vital. It's Quentin and Johnston. I think he's a solid 3, wide receiver 3. Solid wide receiver 3. For now. Do I trust him? No. Is he playing great? Yes. Does Herbert like to throw to him? It seems to. He's pretty efficient, though. 14 teams to flex. Tootin, Mooney. Give me Tootin. Need one between JCM or Hendy. JCM for now, but if the news starts to indicate differently, then we're going to go. We'll change it up. You know what I'm saying? Different league. Need one between DJ Moore, JCM, and Harvey. I'd take JCM at the current moment with the current news. Back again. 10-man, 2-0. Achan, Gibbs, Bucky, Sharbs, MHJ, Hendy, Pearsall, Rashi, Hunter. Guy really wants Achan. Said, fleece me. The guy said, fleece me. He got CD, Genty, Lana, Dunze, and K9. Who to try and get? Well, I would say, man, Achan for. So I would try and get. Obviously, I'd try and get like CD. If I was going to go Achan down to Genty, then I want a Dunze, and that might not even be enough. You know what I mean? A Dunze and Lad might not actually be enough. So I think it's CD. So it'd be Achan and like Hunter, or Achan and MHJ for CD and Genty if he really wants to be fleeced. Would I take CD at the end of the day? Would I take CD and K9 for MHJ and Achan? Yes. But if we're fleecing him, we want CD and Genty. I mean, that's what he wants. And if I had to give up like a little more on that CD Genty deal, I would. Start Tracy or Tootin this week. You can't start Tracy. Tracy lost his job probably. I mean, this is like the Charbonnet and Walker thing, though. Charbonnet looked like the clear-cut guy in week 1. And Charbonnet even out carried Walker in week 2, by the way. People don't realize that. But this could be the same thing. Tracy looks like he lost his job, and then all of a sudden we're all scat, and then Tracy blows up in week 3. Watch. But Tootin's the call. And Tootin is good to go. Thank you, my boy. And then Rillo, Myers and Kyron for Rome. And Myers and Kyron for Rome. I don't know why you give up Myers and Kyron for Rome Odunze. I like Rome Odunze, but bro, you're way overpaying. Myers plus Higgins for Lamb. I've never seen two different directions, Rillo, in my life that have been so drastic. You're trying to get completely fleeced yourself. Myers and Kyron for Rome, which I like Rome, but you're trying to fleece yourself. And then you're trying to completely knock him out over the head cold and trade him Myers and Higgins for Lamb. Like, let's take that second one, but I don't think you'll get it. But they couldn't be miles apart, those ideas. It's like wanting to build a sandcastle or wanting to, go over and build a skyscraper. Team is 2-0. Mahomes, JJ, London, Gibbs, Hampton, Egbuka, bench, Murray, MHJ. Want to try for Rice, but the owner is stonewalling. Well, because he probably, I don't know if he's 0-2. If he's 1-1 or 2-0, he doesn't want to trade Rice. He's been waiting on him. But I would definitely try and get him. But the more you try, the more he's going to be like, well, you want him because I'm right. That waiting on him's the right move. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're playing into his hand, and he's just going to get more. He's going to grow more and more anti-trade with you on Rice if you keep inquiring. So you almost, in my opinion, messed up by going after Rice. You should have went after somebody else and said, well, who else do you have? And then he's like, well, I have Rice. Then you're like, I don't know. What do you want for him? I don't want to wait for him. But you go and give me Rice. Like, he's just going to keep stonewalling you more. He's going to build up a bigger wall. That stone's going to get thicker and thicker. I don't know. If I was to try and come up with something that made sense, I would say MHJ, likely MHJ Pacheco, Hampton, straight up for Rice. But past that, I'm not trading any of these other pieces, so I'm going to say no. But it's, 10-man Connor. Thinking about upgrading at running back. I mean, yeah, I don't mind that. Josh Allen, Brees, and then Connor. So Connor and DK for a Chase Brown or a Genty. Waddle and Connor for a similar move. A Chuba even. Connor for Hendy. JK Connor for Hendy. JK DK for running back. Appreciate you, my boy. Kirsten, appreciate you with a $20 holler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Thank you, kind sir. Bijan, Bucky, Chase Brown, Trey, Hendy, George Pickens, Debo, Penix Jr. Do I trade for Drake London? Do I even need him? 12-man. 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. Well, I mean, we could all use some Drake London in our life, I think. Bijan, Bucky, Chase, Brown. 3 amazing running backs. Hendy in the wings. Jeez. Pickens, Debo, Buka. I mean, your team's pretty good. Would I want London? Sure. What would I give up? Buka, straight up, I suppose. But there's pros and cons to that. But am I giving up one of the running backs? I mean, I don't think so. Because if you're starting all 3 of them, and Debo, Buka, and Pickens are really serviceable, I don't know that you need to make the move. JCM and Pickens for London. JCM and Debo for London. JCM and Buka for London and something. I'm okay with those moves. I'll try not to get rid of Buka, though. But I'm fine buying low on that. Got offered Judkins for Hendy. Thoughts? I would rather have... Look, this is, again, one of those trick questions. Thank you, Ray, for gifting a membership. And Kurt Biz, you got that gifted one from Ray, so please thank him if you can. This is one of those trick questions where the wind's going to shift. So Judkins is better now, although week 3 is not a good matchup. Might not serve you well this week. But Hendy will eventually, in my opinion, be better than Judkins. But how far downstream will that be? Will you be 0-5? Will you be 0-6? Will you be 0-7? Will you be 1 and will you be 2-7? Who knows at what point it takes Hendy to get a hold of the job. So I would say Judkins is better for you now. But am I going to be cheering for the opposite to happen? And when that wind shifts, and it probably will, you will be regretting it, but will you be in a better position? And will Judkins be close enough anyway that you're not, it doesn't matter? I think Judkins is probably smarter right now. But I'm telling you right now, I think the wind will shift. Wandell, Jennings, Higgins, Tootin, Fannin. I'm going to go with T. Higgins, Wandell. You didn't put which Higgins you had, so no offense, JK, but you gotta do that, or I don't know how to give you the best advice. Wandell, Higgins, and probably Tootin. If that's Jaden Higgins, then I'm going Wandell, Tootin, and Fannin. But if it's T. Higgins, Wandell, Higgins, and it's a toss-up between Tootin and Fannin. Chat, would you rather have Tootin or Fannin this week? Please help JK out. Give him some groupthink. Thank you, my boy JK. You are the man, the myth, the legend. Please clarify your Higgins. If you don't need to, I guess, because I already give you both sides. But Fannin's getting the majority of the votes. They're back again. 10-man PPR. Did I already do this one? Yeah, fleece me. We read that one. Fleece me. It needs to be a song. Tootin start over JCM, Hendy, or Harvey. I think JCM's safer. Tootin's high risk, high reward. So depending on what you need for the week, like you're down already or whatever, where you're projected to lose, Tootin is a bigger swing, but it is riskier. But JCM comes with his risk of his coach. Lean JCM. Sorry if I missed you cover this. Go Bills. You didn't miss it, or I mean, you might have asked me that already or something. I don't know. But thank you for the super chat. Chat, vote on that JCM or Tootin this week. Please vote in the chat. JCM or Tootin. Tootin by a hair if you want risk with the bigger upside. JCM is a little bit more steady. Tootin start over JCM. Trade Sutton and Scattaboo and or Mooney for Hampton Waddle. I would take Hampton Waddle, and then I'd flip Waddle. But I still like trading for Hampton right now. I very, very much do. 12-man PPR, Goff, Achan, JSN, BTJ, Tyler Warren, bench Judkins, Harvey, Devontae Smith, Mooney. I'm 1-1. Was offered Herbert for Goff and Harvey. Chat, would you give up Harvey to swap out Herbert and Goff, or do you just say Goff is right there anyway? Which he was last week. Week 1, we don't know what happened. Week 3, we don't know what's going to happen, but week 2 was good. They seem to have got on course. I think Goff and Harvey's better, but let's see what the chat thinks. Full PPR 0-2, Josh Allen, Lamb, AJ Brown, Kamara, Javonte, Fannin, Devontae, BTJ, Monty, JCM, Rashad White, Wandell, Robinson, Najee, trades. Love Allen, Lamb, not touching it. AJ Brown, Kamara, I want to get rid of. Javonte, I would trade him if the price is right. BTJ, keep Adams. So this comes down to AJ Brown and Kamara. Either AJ Brown for Mike Evans straight up, for BTJ straight up, and then Kamara for Chuba, or like you're getting crafty and getting like Kamara for Hendy and Ladd or something like that. Or you're trading AJ Brown and Kamara for one big monster like Genty or above. That's what I'm doing. But AJ Brown for BTJ, maybe trade both of them to the BTJ owner for BTJ and a player that they might have. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing it live. Liz, appreciate you with the super chat. Traded Egbuka, Devontae Smith, Tyler Warren for Ladd, McLaurin, and Golden. I hate to say I don't like it. I don't think it's bad because if Egbuka doesn't play this week, and Devontae Smith, I don't think is consistent. Love Tyler Warren, banged up, but I love him. I mean, it could work out for you. This could really work out. Ladd could become a top 12 to 15 wide receiver. I don't know that he'll be top 10, but let's call it 11 to 15. He's got that capability, but Keenan Allen's definitely the number one there. But Ladd's nice. Ladd's a very nice buy low. McLaurin's got upside to rebound and become a really nice buy low, and Golden should get better. But I do think I'd rather have Egbuka out of everybody on the other side, so he's the number one player, and Tyler Warren might be the number two player out of everybody. So you got rid of, in my opinion, the two best players in the deal. So I'm going to lean toward that other side being better. Now, could it work out? Yes, it could. But I wouldn't probably not have done that. But I do think your Chase Brown, Genty, Hendy running back stable is really, really good. It will pull through. Keep the faith in it. You might not be able to use Hendy right now. You might need to, but don't blame you sitting him. But your team's going to be pretty solid. Ladd and McLaurin are not bad wide receivers, obviously, to add to your team. So your team should be okay. But I would not have done the trade personally. And I can probably speak for the chat that they would rather have had that other side too. Do I trade Chase Brown and Hampton for Henry and Herbert? I'd probably rather have Derrick Henry and Herbert, especially if you lost Burrow, and that helps you. Pros and cons, though. My bad. Should I try and trade Waddle Harvey for Rice? Yes, I would. Take Rice and run. Is Egbuka going to play? We don't fully know yet. So we're kind of just in a holding pattern, my boy. We should have more information on Buka soon. And I'll even search right now to see if we got any sort of updates. Jordan Mason is going to be used a lot, according to Ian Rappaport. Mason's gonna be fired up and ready.
Well, no going back now. You sure you want to do this, Kyle? Yeah. We have to. Let's go. Start the procedure.
Masonites assemble.
Mason is going to be utilized a ton, according to this coming in just recently. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport said Jordan Mason is going to be used a lot, quote unquote, in the Vikings Week 3 game against the Bengals. And remember that this is going to potentially be a weird game where there could be tons of opportunity for any and all players in this one. So it's hard to predict what the flow will be like, but Bengals can be scored on. So we'll have to see. Is there a possibility that the Bengals get up to an early lead? Yeah, but the Vikings defense is pretty good against the pass, unless they run and there's turnovers. And I mean, look, this quarterback situation is sketchy, right? So we don't know how the defense will play on the other side of the ball. And maybe the Vikings are down by a lot and they can't run the ball. So there's certainly concerns, but there's also positives as well. I'll let you know when I have more on Egbuka, but Egbuka we just don't have any. There's no updates. It's just he's in questionable mode, and will probably come down to the game. He'll remain again. There could be an update tomorrow, but right now he'll remain in game time decision mode. T, appreciate your super chat, $20 hauler. Use 2 of 2 ads already. 10-man standard auction 0-2. Trade for a tight end or take the hit if Kraft doesn't play. It doesn't feel like Kraft's going to play. So trade, I don't know. You can't pick up anybody. And you don't have... Show loves you back, by the way. Man, you got hit with the quarterback. I don't know what you could trade. I guess I would be looking. I mean, I don't know if you could trade for like a Fannin. You'd have to tell me like what team has that has Fannin, if they've got an extra tight end. Kyle Pitts. It seems like people are trying to get rid of Hawkinson. But I think Kyle Pitts is a pretty easy player to trade for. But it depends on who's got a surplus. So if you're telling me you want to trade for a tight end because you can't use your waiver claim, is that what you're trying to say? Use 2 of 2 ads already. So you can't add anybody, I think is what you're saying. I don't know. Kraft is leaning a little bit toward the wrong side of playing, I believe. So go see what the Fannin owner has. Most likely Fannin is on a team where they've got 2 tight ends. Because they added him. You know what I mean? Kyle Pitts, go see if Kyle Pitts is available. What would I give? No, I mean, I'm not just going to make a bad trade. But I would certainly see if I could move like a Mason and Debo or a Mason and MHJ for an upgrade. And if that includes throwing in a tight end, like let's say you were to get Chase Brown, or let's say so Mason and MHJ or Mason and Debo for Chase Brown, or for Chuba and Fannin. You get Fannin thrown in. Kenneth Walker and Fannin. You know, those types of moves. Go to the HN owner. Don't think you have HN, right? I'm just looking at your squad and see if they want Gordon for a tight end, which I'd hate for you to do, but it is what it is. Or you're trying to acquire HN, giving them maybe, I mean, it's tough because your running back situation is in hold mode. Yeah, I would try that first suggestion. Past that, And so you're telling me, can you answer this question for me, T? You can't pick up anybody? Is that what you're trying to tell us? Because it's a little ambiguous here, but I'm thinking you're telling me 2 of 2 means you're out. You can't pick up another player. I think you just got to go to the Fannin and Kyle Pitts owner and see what they have at tight end. Try and do a trade. Would I trade Travis Hunter straight up for a tight end? I probably want something back. Like maybe you could trade him for Fannin and Tootin or get something. But I really like the idea of getting like a Chase Brown, a Kenneth Walker, even a Kyron Williams on the low, using Mason and a receiver and trying to get that tight end as well. MHJ, he's hard to sell, but at the same time, in a 2-for-1, people think of the what ifs. And I think, maybe what if he does do something? These streams got me hooked. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. Glad to have you here. Thank you, T. Appreciate your $20 hauler. I wish there was more to help you with. Can anybody think of anything else for T? I want to give him the best value I can. I'm out only 2 ads per week. I'd like to give him the best value I can, but this is a tough team to maneuver. And without knowing the T, can you give me the team that has Fannin and Pitts? What do they have on their roster? That you don't have to list their whole team, but does anybody have Chase Brown? Does anybody have Chuba? What's their running? Do they have Genty? Like if I could trade Mason and Hunter or Mason and Keenan Allen or Mason and Debo for like Genty or Chase Brown and get that extra tight end, or Chuba, get the extra tight end, Walker, get the extra tight end, I'm probably doing that. Trying to think of another running back that makes sense. Let me pull up my thefantasyfootballshow.com rankings, which is my year-round fantasy football ranking site. Bold predictions, trade calculators, you name it. This is where I started. This is how I got in the business, and done it ever since. The written content 24 or 5 years ago, whatever the hell it's been. Running backs that make sense for that type of move. You could take a gamble on ETN. Obviously, James Cook, probably not going to happen now. Genty, Bucky, maybe Bucky, but probably not. Chuba, maybe. Josh Jacobs, maybe. Breece Hall. Try every one of those teams for the running back and an extra tight end for your Mason and Debo Mason and MHJ. Herbert and Hampton for Mahomes and Scat. Give me. You know what? That could go either way. That's pretty even, Steven. Probably rather have Mahomes and Scat right now, but honestly, like Hampton should come around. You know, people are writing off Hampton. I don't think his coach is going to write him off long term. So I'd probably say like Mahomes and Scat for now, but it could be damn near even come a week from now. Traded away Mason and Sutton for BTJ. Love that. The T end up answering. Grabbed Daniel Jones and Keenan this week. That's crazy. You only get 2 moves, though. I rarely hear about leagues like that. That's wild. Thank you for the super chat. No, Billy. Appreciate you. I know I need to make a trade, but in a 10-man, I need 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex. Henry, Chase Brown, Gibbs. Wow. Great running backs. Mason and Garrett Wilson, Rome, and Pickens. I don't know that you need to make a trade. It's a pretty good team. I have a ton of running backs. JCM, Judkins, Sharps. Okay. Yeah, I'm moving JCM or Judkins or Sharps to the Walker owner to upgrade Garrett Wilson into Nico, into St. Brown, Pickens into maybe BTJ or Nico or St. Brown, or, you know, Garrett Wilson and JCM, Garrett Wilson and Judkins into JJ. Honestly, you should be able to do one of those. You got so much. You could even throw 2 running backs. I mean, you got lots of firepower. And if you can't do it this week, just wait. Don't just take the highest offer and waste your chance maybe doing this next week. You know? Yep. BTJ quit on the Jaguars Sunday. Well, you're not wrong, big man, but I'm not here to judge him for that. I'm here to acquire him off his misstep because I don't think this team's going to give up on him. And I think everybody makes mistakes, and one game doesn't define somebody. I think the whole season last year as the number 4 wide receiver overall defines him more than that game defines him. And I think he learns from it, honestly. I'm willing to take the chance. Why? Because I don't have to buy him at the price tag I did on draft day. So the chance is worth taking. It wouldn't be if you still had to pay 14 overall. Like, he'll bounce back. Buy him for 14 overall. You know what I mean? So it's worth it. It's worth it to me. Trade BTJ and Pollard for JT. You take JT and run. Yes, sir. Do you think I could pull off a Kelsey for Tyler Warren trade? I think you could do whatever you put your mind to. Do I think it's likely? No. I mean, why would he do that? But do I think it could happen? Yeah, because I've seen worse. I have H.N. Hendy, Harvey, Benson, Tootin, and Golden as well. I don't know what that refers to, but that's good. Good job. As a BTJ owner, I refuse to watch the replay. I want to keep the image of the Colts defender diving for him. It is brutal to watch the each play that he participated in. It was bad. BT had a horrible game. I got Pickens instead of MHJ per super chat. I don't remember the super chat, to be honest, but I like Pickens over MHJ by quite a bit. So whatever it is, you did good, kind sir. Lewis, appreciate you. Flex one, Fannin, Hunter, Wicks, Harvey, or Tillman. I'm going to go Hunter for high upside, high risk, like you need a swing to win, and Fannin for steady Eddie if you're like on cruise control decision making. I have Hurts. What's good? What's a good? I don't know what you're saying though, bro. I drafted a lot of Hunter, 0 BTJ. Well, it explains your lean, but I think they both can do well. Alvin, Warren, Swift, JCM, Dobbins, who should I trade? Whoever can get you the most return. I'm trying to trade Swift. And then I'm trying to trade Alvin as well. Both of them. Hey, Smitty, you going to be later? Am I going to be later? Are you going to be later? CT6? I'm going to be live later. I'm live pretty much every midnight, my boy. Cohen and BTJ both showed the frustration with the Prince. JCM or Dobbins? JCM. Penix will replace JD5 this week. I am cooked. No. I like Penix Jr. Thanks for all that you do for us, Peon Smitty. You're welcome, pal. Appreciate you. Harvey will get his time. Haven't seen Dobbins play a full season. Bro, Dobbins will get injured at some point. Olave or Kincaid. Probably Kincaid for now, but Olave's been getting targeted. So, you know, we have to consider that, but I don't know. I don't trust it. Boarding 5 QBs. Now that's a lot. I think 3 is, I get ridiculed for being a 3, QB advocate, but 5 is crazy. Brock suiting up, but as an emergency. Yep. Yes, sir. BTJ was over Trevor and his off-target balls, throwing him to traffic. BTJ was over Trevor. Well, it's one game. It's fine. Trevor was throwing. BTJ was more of the problem in week 2 than Trevor Lawrence. I can tell you. I watched every play, and BTJ was throwing. And BTJ was literally selling out Trevor Lawrence more than Trevor Lawrence was making mistakes. I'll tell you that right now. Running back bench 1, Mason or Chase Brown. They're both great plays, but I'm not sitting Chase Brown, bro. Like, just not. Appreciate you all. Let's see this last one, and then I'm going to jump out of here, and I'll be back at midnight Eastern. 10 team 0.5. Hurts, HN, JK, Neighbors, Adams, Tillman, Worthy, Jones. How to improve? Probably say Hurts, HN, JK, Neighbors. Keeping this. I'm keeping the Neighbors and HN band together. Love Odunze. Very much interested in trading away Worthy or Tet McMillan with JK to get a slight RB, opportunity here, whether it's Walker or Chuba. Trading Hurts down to Mahomes, if that even feels like a downgrade to the person that has Hurts, I don't know. If not, even a Dak or something to upgrade. Or if you've got another quarterback somewhere like Penix Jr. or somebody that you feel confident enough in, I'm trading Hurts straight across. I've had people get Bucky. I've had people get BTJ. I've had people get Nico for Hurts straight up. So probably looking to use Hurts in a trade, honestly. And Hurts just doesn't throw. I think he'll bounce back a little bit here or there, but Golden will be a Moon Man soon. No Reed and Kraft. Well, Kraft will probably miss, but we're still waiting on that. But Golden will have a good day. I don't think he'll be a Moon Man. He'll have a good day, but he's going to be sporadic. He runs a lot of go routes and the routes that aren't going to always connect. Bowers and Olave for McBride. Why would you trade Bowers away for McBride? I think Bowers is still the number 1. I like McBride, but no. It should be the other way around where you're getting, All right, guys, I'll be back. Don't forget my Patreon is 24/7 live chat, 365, 24/7. Do it live. Smash this link. Here's the Patreon link right here. Hit that link. Tap in. BBQ with a $50 hauler on the way out the door. So that's my live chat Patreon link. Hit that link. Be a part of the family. 24/7 live chatting group. Hendy and Harvey house calls week 3. Let's hope, but if it isn't in week 3, we must remember Chase Brown, nothing until week 4. Gibbs, nothing until week 7. Bucky, nothing until week 10, and really didn't start until week 13. And Bucky won leagues. So don't give up on Hendy, Harvey, or Hampton coming out of week 3 if 1 or 2 or all 3 don't deliver. But $50 hauler from BBQ.
$50. Give me $50 hauler. Get better.
You've just been
BBQ stock is on the rise. It has been since the beginning of time. See you all at midnight Eastern. Appreciate every single one of you, especially BBQ dropping that wad right at the end. Thank you to my $20 super chats or higher. So that includes BBQ. That includes T. Prisk. Appreciate you dropping that one. Kirsten, appreciate you dropping the $20 hauler. Kind sir. Thank you, the Dawn. Thank you, Ron. Appreciate you. Thank you, Finish, for dropping the 20. Trey W. Or Trev W. Sorry, Trev. Thank you, Trev. And then Lego Batman and Murph and Gavin and Crod. Appreciate you all. And then appreciate every single one of you that dropped a super chat regardless of the amount. Just anything is amazing. And my celebratory messages, I had DJ celebrating 23 months, said 0.5 Pollard or Garrett Wilson. I'm going to go Garrett Wilson, but anything can happen. Trust your gut. Appreciate you all. Gifted memberships, we had Wheel Snipe Sully dropping 5. We had Ray dropping 1. We had Ray dropping yet another one. Ray dropped a double. Thank you all. Appreciate you. See you at midnight Eastern. I'm live whenever big news breaks. I'm live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's this show right here. I'm additionally live at midnight Eastern almost every single night. And don't forget, tonight we'll draft on Underdog. So smash this link right here, code Smitty. We'll also get it done if you just manually download the app and enter code Smitty when it asks you how you heard about us. You say Smitty, Smitty. And if you just want to hit the link, it inserts it for you. We'll be drafting tonight. So please smash the link that I just dropped. I'll drop it again right now. There it is. Get prepared. Sign up now so you're not scrambling. And we'll be drafting tonight on Underdog. See you at midnight.